First, though, we're looking back at the U.S. Capitol riot 1 year later.
But there's a big difference between protesting passionately and bashing in a door and beating up a police officer to try to stop our democracy from functioning.
Tonight, we're hearing from several people who were there for the insurrection, including lawmakers and a Central Florida man accused of helping plan the attack. Tomorrow marks 1 year since hundreds of people stormed the U.S. Capitol. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Austin.
Good evening. I'm Lisa Bell. What started with a rally held by former President Trump turned into a number of his supporters swarming the Capitol during a joint session of Congress. Video shows the moment a mob made its way inside. Some smashed windows, others entered private offices, and several officers were attacked. 4 people died, including a woman who was shot by a U.S. Capitol police officer. Another officer died the next day. Over the past year, more than 725 people have been arrested in connection with the riot. That includes 66 people from Florida, some of whom live here in Central Florida. For the first time, one of the accused co-conspirators is talking about the charges against him. News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval has that story all new at 11.
Marion County resident Kelly Meggs spoke to us from jail in Washington, D.C.
What do you have to say to the accusations that you were one of the conspirators of January 6th?
Couldn't be anything further from the truth.
Meggs is a member of the Oath Keepers, a group made up primarily of former law enforcement officers and veterans, which prosecutors say planned last January's riot at the Capitol. Meggs says he and his fellow members and his wife Connie did travel to D.C., but not to storm the Capitol, as prosecutors claim. He says they worked security detail at Donald Trump's rallies.
We were singing the national anthem and God Bless America and America the Beautiful, and people were waving flags and everything, and then bam, the doors opened behind us. We heard them open real loud, and we kind of walked up the steps, a couple of steps, just to kind of, because you couldn't see from where we were down a little bit below the crowd. And when we got up to the top there, where you could actually see back that the doors were open, the crowd just surged, and you got sucked in.
Meggs claims he and his wife were only inside the Capitol briefly, and when they returned home to Dunellen,
I was pulled over on the way to work in the morning by about 15 or 16 FBI, Homeland Security, sheriffs, all with rifles out, face down on the pavement, surrounded. They cuffed me and drugged me back to my house, where then they arrested my wife.
Since then, Meggs says he's lived in solitary confinement for 22 hours a day. He says he and other January 6 defendants are denied haircuts and shaves, an issue that's been addressed in court. Now, he says he's waiting to clear his name.
We are 100% innocent, and I can't wait for our day in court so that we can show the video proof that what they're saying is a complete lie and it's a complete hoax on their side, and that we can at least tell the truth and get to clear our name.
Now, Meggs, his wife, and Titusville resident Kenneth Harrelson will get their day in court in April. Their trial is actually one of the first to make it to court. Jury selection begins April 19th. In the newsroom, Eric Sandoval, Getting Results, News 6.